that means it's goo, 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 goo. Got an important question we have to ask every week, and that is, how the goo are you? Awesome. I hope you had an amazing week. This week on Goo we have loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff for you to do at home. So I'm gonna get ready, you need to go get ready and see what's coming up. Hey Goo kids, we're going to start off with a game today. My name's Alice and we are going to play a game called 10 Clues. And what's going to happen is I'm going to tell you some clues about something and you've got to guess what it is that you think I'm giving you clues about, okay? So you can shout your answers out wherever you're watching from and hopefully you'll get it right before I read out all of the clues, okay? Are you ready for the first one? So this one is an object, okay? So the first clue is, I have 2 colours inside. The second clue is, I am full of protein. The third clue is, white, speckled or brown. Maybe you've got an answer. Is it going to be right? Who knows? The next clue is, I'm in mayonnaise. The next clue, when I'm rotten, I can smell really bad. No, it's not Jacob's feet. Next clue is, I am fragile. Has anybody got it yet? I hope you're shouting your answers out at home. The next clue is, people hunt for me at Easter. That's a big clue there. The next clue is, you can break me to make an omelette. And the last clue is, hens lay me. Do you know what it is? Do you know the answer? You can shout it out now if you've not already. The answer is an egg. I hope you got it right. And if you didn't, we're going to do that again with another thing. So you've got another opportunity to guess what you think this is. So next one, this is a film, okay? So the first clue is, I am loved by children. I have a very famous song. I feature a royal family. I am set in Arundel. Do you know what it is? One of my characters is a snowman. I was created by Disney. Love Disney films. There's a lot of snow and ice. That's a big clue. I am the story of 2 sisters. Have you got it yet? Last clue is, I star Elsa and Anna. Do you know what it is? Do you know the film? The film is Frozen. I'm sure most of you will have got that one. And the last clue, the last game that we're going to do is name this creature, okay? So I'm going to read the clues. You've got to name what you think this creature is, okay? So the first clue, I can be brown, or black, or white. Sometimes I have horns. I jumped over the moon. I say moo. That's a big clue. I have udders. I produce milk. And the last clue is, my babies are called calves. What do you think the answer is? It's a cow. If you enjoyed that game, you can play this game with your family and friends at home or whoever you're at home with. Maybe you could think of some clues to something and try and get somebody to guess what you are describing. We're going to go into some worship now, so if you're not already on your feet, jump to your feet because we're going to do some dancing, some singing with the worship team.
Can everyone sing together? Have you heard of the one one called Savior? Have you heard of his perfect love? Have you heard of the one in heaven? Have you heard how he gave his son? 'Cause I have found this love, and I believe in the Son. Show me your way. I believe in the one called Savior. I believe he's the risen one. I believe that I'll live forever. I believe that the King will come. 'Cause I have found this love, and I believe in the Son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. I believe in the one called Savior. I believe he's the risen one. I believe that I'll live forever. I believe that the King will come. 'Cause I have found this love, and I believe in the Son. Show me your way. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. 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 Jesus, you are my best friend, and you will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that. Jesus, you are my best friend. You will always be. Nothing will ever change that.
Hey Goo kids, my name's Andrew France, and today we're going to do some prayer requests and prayer. The prayer request for today is Alice, and she wants to be with her school friends. Now we're going to hop right into prayer. Thank you, Lord, for everything that you do. Please, Lord, make Alice see her friends soon and let them have the best of time. Amen. We've also got some praise reports. One from Ruben Buckley, who loved his Hot Wheels set he got for Christmas, and one from Zion, who really enjoys his new Nerf gun and his Unspeakable merch. Now moving on to Jacob, and he's going to tell us more about being radical.
Hey you kids, my name's Jacob. Great to be with you. Hope you're enjoying today's video so far, but it just got better because now you get to look at my beautiful face for the next 5-10 minutes. How exciting for you guys. I miss your faces there, and so here's what I need you to do. I need you to send, get whoever you're living with to send a picture to icon.goo on Instagram or the Goo page on Facebook. I want to see the funniest face you can pull. Like the funniest. Like, is it like, is it, I can do this weird thing with my eyes that's like this. I think that's, yeah. weird, right? I want to see the weirdest face you can pull. Even the camera person, Alice, is laughing at that face. I don't know whether it's just my natural face that's making her laugh or the eyes. We'll let you decide at home. But I'm going to tell you a story, and we're going to carry on talking about the word that we looked at last week. So if you missed last week's video, go back and watch it, because it was the best, and I'm hopeful that everyone who did watch it will agree with me. But today we're going to carry on talking about this word called radical. And we're going to add another word to it, going to make it 2 words, and tonight, this morning, whatever time you're watching, wherever you're watching from, we are going to talk about these 2 words: radical generosity. Okay, radical generosity. And the word radical, like we talked about last week, means 2 different things. Or to be radical, you have to do these 2 different things. And the first one is to do things that are different to what's ordinary, different to what's normal. And the second one is that it starts in the heart, or it starts at the root. If you want to know more about that, check out last week's video. So here we go. We're going to talk about radical generosity. And over the next 4 weeks, we're going to talk about how we, as Goo kids, can be radically generous Goo kids. That's a bit of a mouthful. Radically generous Goo kids. Bit of a tongue twister that. We could say that so many times faster, but I'm going to start. We're going to crack on. So this week's radical generosity is about how we, as Goo kids and as Goo leaders and as people, can be how we can be generous with our money. Okay? And you might be thinking, I don't have any money, but that's okay, because what I'm talking about this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever time you're watching, what I'm talking about right now, I believe is really important for us now and really important for us in the future. Maybe when you have got a job and you're earning a little bit of money and you're wondering what to do with it. I believe that this could be really helpful for you. So, I want to start by telling you a story about a very small man. It's not no, which one's the small one? It's not Declan Donnelly. It is actually about a man. It's about a man called Zacchaeus, or Zacchaeus, however you want to pronounce it. Zacchaeus, same person really. And it is in the book of Luke in the New Testament, chapter 19. And I'm going to give you a brief run through of the story. So Jesus, you might have heard of Jesus. Jesus is going for a walk through the city of Jericho, and he's got like loads of people around him. Like he's a bit like me. He's super famous. Like everyone wanted to be around him. You know what I mean? Yeah, me and Jesus basically the same person, right? Stop laughing at home. All right, I can hear the laughter, and it's making me upset because me and Jesus are both really famous. Anyway. Jesus is walking through Jericho, crowds of people are following him, wanting to listen to everything that he has to say, because everything he said was super important. Like I said, we're the same person. Anyway, Zacchaeus, like we said, a very small man, okay, and he can't see Jesus through the crowds of people. He's like jumping up, like, I can't see him. He's like trying to peek through all the bodies. He cannot see Jesus. So he does what any normal person would do, and he climbs a tree, a sycamore tree. He climbs to the top of this tree. I'm no good at climbing trees. You're probably better than I am, but he climbs to the top of this tree and he's peering out and he's looking for Jesus, and he finally sees Jesus and he's like, oh my word, this is amazing. It's actually Jesus. It's the real Jesus. Oh my, it's Jesus. It's Jesus. Right? And this next bit is really surprising. But I forgot to tell you an important bit of information. You see, Zacchaeus wasn't a nice man. He was a very small man, but he wasn't a very nice man. Okay, he was a bit nasty. And by a bit nasty, very nasty. You see, Zacchaeus was a tax collector. And if you don't know what that means, it meant he would take money off people to give to the people in charge. But instead of taking off the money that was the right amount, he would take the money that the people in charge needed, and then he would take a little bit extra for himself. So say the people in charge needed 10 coins, he would take 15 coins and give 10 to the people that are in charge, and he'd take 5 for himself and keep it. And he got really rich by cheating people out of all their money. Anyway, back to the story. He's at the top of this tree, he sees Jesus, it's amazing, and then Jesus looks at Zacchaeus. Wow. Jesus looks at Zacchaeus and he says, Zacchaeus, come down. He knows his name. He knows his name. That's amazing. He says, Zacchaeus, come down for the tree, because I am having dinner with you today. And Zacchaeus is like, oh my, Jesus wants to have dinner with me? But Jesus is amazing, and I'm, okay, great. So Zacchaeus runs down from the tree and he goes to meet Jesus. And as he's talking with Jesus, as he's taking Jesus to his house, all the people in the crowd, sorry, I just need a quick drink break. All the people in the crowd start getting angry. They start grumbling, start moaning. They're like, why is Jesus having dinner with a tax collector? Does he not know that this man's a sinner? Does he not know that this man does bad things? Does he not know that I am so much better than Zacchaeus? Does he not know that I am so much better than this sinner? Like, I've never stolen money. I've never done this. I've never done that. And they start moaning and grumbling. And Jesus can hear them. Jesus can hear them. But Zacchaeus can also hear them. And Zacchaeus does something amazing. Like we already said, tax collectors were really nasty. They were really selfish back then, and they would keep so much money for themselves. So what Zacchaeus does next is radically generous. He does something new to what is normal. He does something different to what is ordinary. And what he does is he says this: I will give half of my money, half of everything I have, to the poor, and I will pay anyone that I cheated out of money, I will pay them back. Not the amount that I stole, not 2 times the amount that I stole, not even 3 times the amount that I stole. I'll pay them 4 times the amount that I stole. That is a lot of coins, a lot of money. If they stole like 1 coin, then he would get back, anyone know? He would get back 4 coins, which doesn't sound that great, but chances are Zacchaeus probably stole more than 1 coin from people. So if he stole like 25 coins from someone, anyone do the quick maths, he would get back 100 coins. Like, that's incredible. The fact that Zacchaeus would even give money back is so different, so out of the ordinary, so radical, that the people in the crowd were like, okay, like, amazing. But no other tax collector would have done this. This is amazing. It's crazy. It's actually a miracle. The Bible talks about money a couple of different times, and it talks about something we call tithing, okay, which sounds like a really complicated word, tithing, but it's really simple to understand. Tithing simply means that when we earn some money, we give back 10%. We give back 10% of what we earn into God, into the church. So for example, if I earned like £10 for cleaning my bedroom, whatever, if I earned £10, then I would give £1 into church. If I earned £20, I would give just £2, and I would get to keep 18 all for myself. That is what tithing is. And you might think, I don't want to tithe, I don't want to give any money into church, I don't want to give any money to God. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's really important that we tithe, and why even now you might not be earning any money, obviously. What job could like an 8-year-old have, or like a 5-year-old have, or however old you are? What job could you have? So I understand, but you could have pocket money or whatever. But this is, like I said at the beginning, this is something that you could use maybe in the future, maybe when you have got a job, whether you, like, whatever job you want to do. I think if I could have any job in the world, it'd be footballer, obviously. Footballer, yeah. Or king. That'd be a really cool job as well. The king. Just so I could do that speech on Christmas Day. That'd be awesome. The worst job would probably be, I don't know what the worst job would be, but the best job would definitely be footballer. And I still believe one day that I will be a footballer for England. So let's just keep praying about that and keep believing that one day I'll play football for England. I hope you're praying for me. Okay. So anyway, so the tithing thing. There's 2 reasons that I tithe, 2 main reasons, okay? 2 main reasons. The first one, where is it? I've lost it. Okay, I found it. The first one is I believe that God is in control of absolutely everything. I believe that God made the earth and he put everything on it, including money. So if ever I ran out of money, I could simply go to God and be like, God, I need more money. And sometimes I've had to do that. That's the truth. And every time I've needed money, boom, God has provided me with the money that I need, whether that's through people in church or whatever else. God has just somehow miraculously given us the money that we need. But also, like, for example, say you needed some money, say you wanted to buy a new dress. Sorry, I'm just thinking about what I need to buy next. I need a new dress. Maybe you want to buy a new game, or you want to get a new toy, or you want to get some new clothes, or whatever. If you needed to get this stuff, who would you go and ask? Would you go and ask your next door neighbour? Probably not. Would you go and ask the person at the shop if you could have it for free? Probably not. Or would you go and ask your mum or your dad or whoever is looking after you? Yes, that is who you would go and ask. And it's the same with God. God is our Heavenly Father. And so whenever we need something, we can simply go and ask. Okay? And we don't always get a yeah. Like, you know, you don't always get a yeah. For example, I'm now married. So if I want something, I don't go and ask my mum and dad anymore. I have to go and ask my wife. And honestly, I'd rather go and ask my dad, because my wife often says no. She's shaking her head, but it's true, because I ask for the craziest things, like the new dress. She wouldn't let me have a new dress. Unbelievable, right? I'm joking about the dress, and I'm joking about my wife. She's amazing and lets me have amazing things. Anyway, anyway, so for one reason I give my tithe is because I believe God is in control of everything and He has more to give us always. And the second thing, the second main reason is that it says this in 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. It says, love of money causes all kinds of evil. Some people have even left churches because they want to get more and more money. But now that's caused them to be sad. That's what it says in 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. That people want money so much that they left church to find money, and they may have found the money, but it didn't make them happy. It's just made them sad. Which sounds quite deep. But I want to make sure that I'm radically generous. I want to make sure that I'm generous by giving my 10%, by giving this little bit to God. I still get to keep 90%. So if I'm giving £2, I still get to keep 18. That's amazing. But I'm making sure that my heart's in the right place by going, you know what, God, I trust you. I believe you. I know that you're going to look after me. You're going to take care of me, because that's what the Bible tells me. So if I can do this little thing of just giving 10% to make sure my heart's in the right place, to make sure my heart knows that God is the best thing and not money, then that's what I am going to do. And you might be thinking, you might not have a lot of money because you're young. You might be thinking, you know, I don't have a job, I only get a little bit of pocket money or whatever. And this is how we can also be generous with money. And that's by, you know, not just being generous with our money, but being generous with the things that we have. So being generous with, if we've got a pack of sweets, giving our friend a sweet. Maybe it's letting them play with a toy. Maybe it's doing something. Maybe you really want, right, this is a big one, and this would never have happened when I was your age. Is whenever, in my family I've got 3 sisters, right? Tough childhood, 3 sisters. Only joking, they were brilliant. But whenever we had like a family film night, we would share out sweets, okay? We would share out the sweets, and I wanted the most sweets, because obviously sweets are my favourite thing. I wanted the most sweets, so I would make sure that everyone had an equal amount, which was like terrible. It's not terrible because that's fair, but at the same time, now if I could go back, I would go back and I'd be generous. I would want to be radically generous, because I want to show my sisters and my mum and my dad just how much I love them by making sure that they had more sweets than I did. Even though I love sweets, I want them to know that I love them more than sweets. And there were too many times when I was younger that when I cared more about the sweets than I did about my sisters. And there will probably more times like that in the future. Only joking, if you're watching, I love you all. But I do love sweets, but I love my sisters more. And so sometimes we have to make a sacrifice and remind ourselves that things aren't important as other things. And I want to shout out someone for something amazing that they did. So I'm going to shout out, you've already seen him in this video. His name is Andrew France, okay? And here's why. Andrew doesn't know this yet. Well, he knows what happened, but he doesn't know that I'm sharing it now. Here's what Andrew did for me, okay? Ages ago, I can't remember when this was, I said something like, I love cream eggs. I think it might have been in a Goo video where we played a game and then I ate a cream egg and got in an absolute mess. Yeah, good luck finding that. It's on the YouTube channel somewhere. But anyway, I said something like, I love cream eggs. And then at church, when we were allowed to meet about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, Andrew France bought me a cream egg. Like, honestly, I'm still amazed that he even remembered that I like cream eggs. But he literally had saved that cream egg and brought it to me at church because he wanted me to have a cream egg. That was Andrew being radically generous, and I will always remember that, Andrew. And that is not me saying everyone needs to buy me a cream egg. Please don't. I'd get sick of eating about 20 million cream eggs. Although Alice would probably help me. But what I'm saying is, we can all do that for someone. So it doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be I spent £1 million gazillion pounds on someone. Andrew literally brought me a small cream egg, and to me it meant the world to me. One, because I got to have a cream egg, and two, because Andrew remembered something. Andrew remembered that I love cream eggs and he brought me one, and that was just unbelievable. Now that is the end of today's story. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something, and if you could remember one thing from today, one thing, it's that God is always in control, and therefore we need to make sure that God remains above everything else in our life, including money. Love you loads, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you very soon.
Hey Goo Kids, I can't believe it's Sunday already. The week is just flying by, but I'm back and I'm bringing you another craft to do today. I can't wait to find out how to make this money box, so let's get on with the video! So, let's find out what we're going to be needing for today's craft. So, what I've got here is a template that I've printed out, and we're going to pop the document with the template on our Facebook group for your grown-ups to be able to see and print if they've got a printer at home, or if not, they could just copy a template or something similar onto some paper, or I've got kind of like a thicker paper for you to use instead. I've got a pair of scissors, I've got a craft knife, this isn't necessary either, you could just use some scissors, but I've got a craft knife so I thought I'd use it. I've got some Pritt stick and I've got my coloured markers as usual. So let's get going. First things first, we're going to cut out our template. So remember, if you're not confident using scissors, make sure you get a grown up to help you, because we wouldn't want you to be snipping off the ends of your fingers. Alright, so let's go. That we're going to make to the template is, instead of cutting around this half semicircle, we're just going to do a line straight across. Now I've cut all these bits out, I'm going to run and pop these in the recycling, and I'll be right back. Whew, that was quick. So now, the next step is to start folding along all of the dashed lines, okay? Start folding all across the dashed lines. Now this also could be a little bit tricky, so if you need any help, don't forget, just ask your grown-up. every single line, that's when you can start making your design. And where you want to be doing your colouring is on this box here, because this one is going to be the front box that you're going to see when our box is all made up, okay? Now you can do any design you like. You could draw a picture from the Bible story. You could draw a picture of Jacob. I'm going to draw some little plants because I really like plants. My two little plants, and I've wrote cow with a little heart so everyone knows whose box this is. Now, this next bit is going to be really tricky and you are going to need a grown-up to help you. Now, I'm going to use my craft knife, but you could use your scissors, and we're just going to cut a slit in the top of this hole because that's the one where you're going to put your coins into. And then pop it out and it's all done. Now, the next thing to do is to start gluing your box together. So you need to glue along any of the tabs, but not this one. Leave this one till last. I think I'm going to start gluing these tabs at the bottom first. What are you going to touch onto? So these two tabs fold up and glue onto here. And then all I'm doing is just sticking it down nice and firmly so it's not going to come loose, and then giving it just a little bit of time to dry. Because if your glue's still wet, it could come apart before you've had time to finish doing all the rest of your sticking. And now I'm going to move on to the side bits. I've got two of these. And then we're going to stick them up to this bit. Nice and gentle. Now, if you wanted to, you could just finish by tucking your box in so that you could open it back up if you wanted to get your money out, or you could glue this flap at the top and stick it down so that you couldn't get your pennies back out and they'd be extra safe. But I think I'm just going to leave mine as a flap. And here we have it. Our craft is finished already. Can you believe how quick and easy that was? If you wanted, you could decorate every single side on your money box as well, even the top. In fact, should we do a bit of a design on the top now? I think that could be cute. There we go, all finished. I hope you guys are doing well and are keeping safe at home. And I'll see you next Sunday right here at Goo Online. Bye everyone.
I've loved everything we've done this week. And why don't you show us, because we want to know, trust me, we all want to know what you've been up to. So why don't you check out our Instagram on @icon.goo. Post all your your crafts on there, the games you might have done, and your favourite part. We want to know what you've loved. Well, it's time to say goodbye. But have the best week ever, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye!